To start, first we have to take the inside leg measurement. So here I am, the inside leg I'm using is 18 cm. I'm going to mark it here and I will square this line out. Next, to get the crotch depth, hips divided by 4 plus 3 cm. So I'm going to mark it here and square that out. Next, to get the center front line, on this crotch line I'm going to divide hips by 4 plus 5 cm and I'm going to square it up. And then on the crotch line I'm going to go out 6 cm and I'll draw this down. Next, on the center line I'm going to come in 1 cm and I'm going to divide this line, this center line, I'm going to divide it by 3 and connect this line, and I'm going to make a curve for the crotch line. For the waistline, I'm going to divide waist divided by 4 plus 0.5 cm and I'm going to add 6 cm for pleats. And then I will divide this waistline, I will divide it by 2. Whatever I get, I'm going to make the pleat. That's where the pleat will be. So you divide this place into 2 and bring it down. Whatever you have there, from the hip line you're going to come down 5 cm. You're going to make a pleat on this line, so it's 3 cm on both sides, and then you connect the lines like so. Next, on the side seam you're going to come up by 1 cm and you mark it and connect this line. You use your curve ruler to connect it there like that to have a waist curve. So you're going to connect the side seam. We'll go ahead and cut this out, and this is it for the front, and we're going to make the back. I'll be using this front pattern to make the back, so I will trace out the front on this pattern paper and we'll continue with the back panel. So to draft the back panel, I have marked this side line and I've also marked all these lines that I'm pointing now like this. So on this hip line I'm going to come down 0.5 cm and I'll take it out, I'll square it out like that. So make sure you square it out, you come down 0.5 cm. So here is the lines for the front. I'm going to use it to make the back. So remember we came down by 0.5 cm. So on that line, that crotch line, this center line, I'm going to come out hips divided by 10 plus 2 cm and I'll mark that there. Next, on the center front line, this line we made, I'm going to come in here 4 cm and I'll mark it here. And then I'll go ahead and divide this line by 3 for a guide and I'll mark it. I'll connect that line to this line to make the curve for the back. So just first of all make a straight line here, and you're going to go ahead and come in 2 cm to make the crotch line. So from here I'm coming in 2 cm and I'm going to make a curve. I'm coming out here 3.75. that will give me the guide to make the curve for the crotch. So remember I'm coming in 2 cm before I started making the curve. So you go ahead and do that. Next, for this line you're going to extend it by 2.5 cm before you start taking the waistline. I forgot to do that, but I finally did it. Then you're going to mark 0.5 cm from the front and you connect it. So from here down to the waistline you're going to divide waist divided by 4 plus 3 cm. I'll mark it here, 3 cm for that. So you're going to divide the waistline into 2 and make a dart. So you're going to come in 10 cm from the waistline to make a dart. this time around is not pleats, this is a dart. So we're going to come down 10 cm and we're going to make 3 cm width dart, meaning 1.5 cm on both sides. Next, I'm going to make the curve for the side seam. So connect this line to the side seam, and that will be it for the back. We will go ahead and cut this out and cut it on the fabric. This is the front panel. After cutting it out, I added 1.5 inches and ½ inch all around for the sewing allowances. So remember, I made the notches for the pleats, so this is for the front. I'm going to go ahead and close this like this to sew it, and also make the pleats for the front. I'm going to come down 2.5 inches for the pleats. This is the back panel. I also added 1.5 inches and ½ inch for sewing allowance all around. I'm going to take this out. Remember, also I notched for the dart. The back is the dart. I'm going to close the dart and make a dart at the back. So I'm going to go ahead and close this place like this and leave this place for the zip, invisible zip. I have a tutorial on how to make invisible zip. I'll drop that in the description section. So after adding the zip, you're going to go ahead and place the front panel. You place the front panel front side facing together, and you're going to sew the side seam. So you go ahead and do both. So let's go to the machine and do that. I've gone ahead and closed this and also added pockets for it. So I have a video on how to make side seam. First, I'm going to go ahead and make the pleats. So I'm going to come down 2.5 inches for the pleats. So just come down 2.5 inches and you stop that for the pleats. Do the same thing on the other side. To be sure you have the accurate pleats, you can go ahead and use your tape to measure the pleats length. So here I'm measuring the pleat length 2.5 inches, and I made it, and this is how it looks. Can you guys see? So the next thing is the back. I have already added the zipper allowance. I'm going to make the darts. I'm going to sew the darts. So you go ahead and sew the darts for the back. I came down 5.5 inches for the dart leg. This is it after sewing the darts. So we are going to go ahead and bring the front panel and sew the side seam. So just go ahead and place the front sides facing together, and you will sew the side seam. After sewing the side seam, the next thing is to sew the inside leg. So you go ahead and place them together like this and sew it. Next, after sewing all the seams, you go ahead and open them up and iron this out. So you're going to iron this out, give it a good press, and then we're going to hem the lower part. So you're going to fold it 1.5 inches and again 1.5 inches, and you're going to sew it. So all in all, we are taking out 3 inches for the hem. And this is it after coupling the whole thing. So next, you're going to go ahead and add waistband to the shorts and see how neat it is. Guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.